Welcome to AutoSens, the world's leading community for ADAS and autonomous vehicle technology development. We create best-in-class events, training, and information for the purpose of connecting the global community of engineers, scientists, and other automotive industry experts. One such expert joining us today is Hilary Balonek. She is the IQ Lab manager at Optikos. And Hilary, welcome. Thank you for joining us here at AutoSens.
Thanks, Carl. Happy to be here.
So give us a high-level overview of Optikos. Tell us a little bit about the company as a whole.
Sure. So we're an optical engineering consulting company at our core. We tend to focus in two main areas, those of optical system design and optical system metrology. We do have a growing third area of our business, which is our manufacturing services as well for building lenses and camera assemblies. So under the design consulting services, we have a multidisciplinary team of engineers that can jump in wherever our customers are in the product development process. We can design something from soup to nuts. We can jump in if they're having an issue with an existing design, and we help them however we can. We do tend to build the things that we make, and so we do have plenty of manufacturing capability in-house to do that. We have lots of connections within the optics industry to source parts. And we do have our metrology side of our business to qualify things that we build to make sure that they meet our design. So on the metrology side of the business, we offer several product lines for use of testing image quality of lenses and of cameras. So our lens testing product line is called the OpTest product line. And then we have the Meridian product line as well, which is primarily for testing cameras. And people know of Optikos mostly for measuring MTF, which stands for modulation transfer function. And it's basically a measure of how well a lens or a camera can reproduce the details in a scene of varying size. It's a very important metric, but it's only one of many things that our products can measure. We have a lot of really broad capability. We can measure lenses and cameras of different sizes, different wave bands, and for all sorts of different applications with our products. In addition to the products that we sell that customers can buy to install in their own facilities, we also have our products installed here in our labs, and we offer what we call our IQ Lab testing service. And so instead of buying a product, our customers can send us their lens or their camera. We'll do the testing for them with our team of highly trained engineers here, and then send them the data results in a nice, neat package. So those are the general areas of our company, and they really support each other very nicely.
Hilary, I suppose the million-dollar question for all of our AutoSens listeners and viewers is you're the IQ Lab manager. So what is the IQ Lab? Tell us a little bit about it.
Great question. So it's a really unique service that we offer. I really haven't encountered anything like it offered by another company. It just really meets a need because not every customer has the funds to buy a piece of equipment. The justification, they might only need one thing tested at a given point in time. And they might not have the people either. You have to have trained people who can make measurements. It's very easy to get bad data in optical metrology, as many people know. So it's a really useful service for people. And what happens is customers bring us their problem, whether it's they just need a quick measurement on a lens that they bought, they need to troubleshoot an issue. We have a conversation with them to understand what their problem is, what data that they need. We'll develop a specific test plan just for them. Then we'll quote it. We have them send us their material, and then typical turnaround time is 2 to 3 weeks, though it can go longer depending on the complexity. And then we deliver them the data results at the end. We do invite customers to come to our facility. They can observe the measurements, they can ask questions. We take education of our customers very seriously. Not everybody knows how to test MTF. In fact, most people don't know how to test MTF. So we really want to make sure that we help our customers understand what we're measuring and what the data means for them. And we often have a lot of follow-up with the customers at the end to explain the data and to discuss it further. What does this mean for them and their application and their lens, and how can we help them further? It's a really unique service that we offer. It's a very flexible service. We do everything we can to accommodate our customers' needs, and we get exposed to some really interesting metrology problems.
Hilary, if let's say that I'm a customer, at what point would I want to reach out and use your IQ Lab testing services? Why and when? What's going on that customers reach out and they say that they want to utilize that service?
So most of our customers, I think, fall into a category where they've bought a lens or a camera from someplace online, a catalog company, and they just need to know more about it than the specs that are provided with it. In some cases, it's because they're actually going to use it for an application other than what the lens or camera is designed for. So we can test it under those additional parameters and give them data to understand if this lens or camera is actually going to work for them. So in that case, we'll do kind of a basic suite of image quality measurements, MTF to start for sure, but we can measure other things like effective focal length, distortion, field curvature and field tilt, encircled or ensquared energy. We can also measure things like stray light, and then we can characterize the lens over temperature as well. So we have a lot of these sort of measurements available. We can configure them into a test plan specific for that type of customer. So that's kind of the main category. Another category is customers have a lens that they've built or that somebody has built for them, and they need to validate it fully to make sure that it performs in accordance with the design. So this is usually like a prototype kind of measurement, and they're usually bringing their lenses to us because it's a really difficult thing to measure. It's a really weird system, has some sort of weird setup required, and we're very comfortable doing custom setups, custom testing routines. So it's something that we're really strong at. And so in that case, we might do the measurements that I mentioned before. We might do additional measurements or additional configurations of those measurements. And then those are ones where we will have the customers come visit, come observe our measurements. We'll keep them updated, especially when we start to see that things are going not quite as expected. The lens isn't really performing as expected. So in some cases, we'll measure effective focal length, which is a great way. It's like going to your doctor and getting a physical checkup. You know, it's telling you, is the lens healthy? Is it doing what it's supposed to do? So if we measure the focal length and it doesn't match the design, we'll convey that to our customer and then figure out next steps. Now, a third category of IQ Lab customers that I personally really enjoy these projects myself, it's when the customer knows that there's a problem, but they don't know why. They don't know what's wrong with the lens or the camera. And when they pull us into that kind of project, it actually becomes more of like a forensic investigation for us. It's like a puzzle that we have to figure out what combination of measurements do we need to do to dig down into the root of the problem. And for projects like that, sometimes we've had to do weird things like cut a lens in half to see what's going on inside with the customer's permission, of course. But to just kind of see what's actually going on inside the lens to figure out the problem. So those are, again, another really challenging type of project that we do. And again, probably the most fun for us because it's a little bit more of a puzzle for us to solve. So those are not the only categories of projects that we have, but that is kind of the main three categories that we encounter. And then the temperature testing one is a new service that we've been offering, and that's one that customers engage with us a lot, particularly in the automotive industry. And they'll come to us specifically to measure the image quality of the lens and the focus shift of the lens over temperature. So the thermal module that we've designed over the years, which is an accessory to our lens testing product line, can test the focus shift and the image quality of a lens between -40 degrees C up to 100 degrees C, which is probably a very familiar temperature range to a lot of people in the automotive industry. So it runs a very broad gamut of projects in the IQ Lab, and we encourage people to come to us with any sort of metrology problem that they have, because we're always willing to look into it to see if it's something we can help with.
Hillary, it's a blast talking to you about this. I've learned a lot and enjoy your passion. So from all of us here at AutoSens, thank you for being with us and sharing your expertise and your thought leadership. Of course, we want to encourage all of our viewers and listeners to learn more about the Optikos IQ Lab. Hillary, again, thank you for being with us, and we wish you all the best luck going forward.
Thank you very much, Carl.
For more in-depth interviews like this, subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow AutoSens on LinkedIn. More information on our world-class events are available at auto-sense.com. That's auto-sense.com. In Detroit, on behalf of AutoSens, I'm Carl Anthony.
you.